Yeah, Mishnah Hey. ביאור משנה ה'. Explanation for משנה ה'. בגמרא מובאת ברייתא. The Gemara brings a ברייתא. What's the ברייתא? ולקחת לכם פרי עץ הדר. You should take to you a fruit of a tree which is beautiful. What does it mean, פרי עץ הדר? A fruit of a tree of הדר. He says, what's so specific about it? שטעם עצו ופריו שווה. It's the only tree where the taste of the fruit and the taste of the branches, the leaves, the branches itself are equal. Havi Omer, זה Etrog. We know that this, the only tree that is this way, is an Etrog tree. Rabbi Abahu said, Pri et Sadar, what do we learn from the words Pri et Sadar? So in Hebrew, it means fruit of the tree which is beautiful. But Hadar also means that is dwelling, that is living. Dar, ladur. Hudar ba'etz. Shehudar be'ilano mishana l'shana. That it stays on the tree, it lives on the tree all year round. So that's how we know it's an etrog. Ben Azai says, Al tikri Adar ela hidur. Don't read Hadar, but read hidur. שכן בלשון יווני קוראים למים הידור. In Greek you called water הידור. ואיזו שגדל על כל מים, and which is the one that grows on the water, הווי אומר זה אתרוג. It means this is אתרוג. I have no idea, I think every tree grows on the water, so I don't know what it is talking about over here. ויש כותבים שהדר הוא שמו של האתרוג. And some say, Hadar is the name of an etrog, שבארמית נקרא אתרוג, ובלשון הקודש הדר. So it says, the word Hadar, the word etrog is in Aramaic. The word in Hebrew is Hadar. Yeah. כי פירושו אתרוג חמדה. Because they explain the word אתרוג, likable. וכן נחמד למראה. It was good for sight, like the פרי עץ הדעת. מתרגם אונקלוס, דמרגג למחזי. משנתנו עוסקת בענייני אתרוג. So nevertheless, we're going to deal with the laws of אתרוג.
כן, because there is a סברה that אדם הראשון ate from the אתרוג.
And that's why it says that it's the... That's right, because all the trees in Gan Eden had the same taste as the tree itself. Okay. אתרוג הגזול והיבש פסול. So like we started from the beginning. Etrog that is stolen, etrog that is dry is pasul, מהטעמים שביארנו בלולב. From the reasons we already explained, שנאמר, ולקחתם לכם, it says you should take to you, משלכם ולא הגזול, it has to be yours and not stolen, ועוד, שבמצווה נעשית בדבר גזול, היא מצווה הבאה בעבירה. And it's a commandment that comes through a sin. ואתרוג היבש פסול, and etrog that is dry is also not kosher, לפי שאינו הדר, because it's not beautiful. של אשרה, אתרוג של אילן שעובדים אותו לשם עבודה זרה, ושל עיר הנידחת, so אתרוג of an idol worship or of עיר הנידחת, and a city that worshipped this tree, this etrog, or the city doesn't worship the etrog, the city worships something else, so you have to destroy everything in the city, שהודחתה לעבוד עבודה זרה, פסול. It is pasul. Why? Because according to halacha, it needs to be burnt, and something that is burnt doesn't exist. You cannot use it as a mitzvah. לפי שדינו בשריפה, והרי זה כאילו אין בו השיעור הדרוש. It is like you don't have the correct measurement. כמו שהבאנו בלולב. Just like we explained in lulav. We don't know the shiur for the etrog yet, but we see. של עורלה. Oh, now comes the zeu. Until now, there were no fruits. So we don't have this problem, but now this is a fruit. So this is the first time we have the fruit itself. So what happens if the fruit is in the first 2 years or the first 3 years? It's an orla. So are you allowed to use it for lulav? That's the question. של orla, בשלוש הראשונים נטיית האילן, פסול האתרוג. The etrog is not kosher. I'm not going to eat it. Why is it not kosher? Yeah? I'm not eating it. So why is it not kosher? הטעם מבואר בגמרא. The reason is explained in the Gemara. לפי שהתורה אמרה ולקחתם לכם, the Torah told us, and you should take to you. What does it mean, לכם? שיהיה ראוי לכם, that it be fitting for you to use. והרי פירות עורלה אסורים באכילה ובהנאה. פירות עורלה, it's not only you're not allowed to eat, you're not allowed to feed it to your animals either. Yeah? They are forbidden even in enjoyment. And since you're using it, since you cannot use it, not for you and not for enjoyment, if you could feed it to your dog or to your animals, maybe you'll be allowed to use it. But over here, you're not even allowed to feed it to your animals. Therefore, you're not allowed to use it. It's like it doesn't exist. What happens shel truma tme'ah? You took aside this etrog and you separated it for the Levi, or for the Kohen. Let's make it easy. You separated it for the Kohen. And then, after the separation, it becomes tameh, it becomes impure. So now, who can eat this etrog after it becomes impure? No one. It's truma, because it's the Kohen, and now no one can eat it, not even the Kohen can eat it, so therefore it doesn't exist. No one is allowed to eat it. So therefore you cannot use it. Pasul. Therefore it's pasul. Lefi she'en bo heiter achila. There's no one who in the world who's allowed to eat it. Like we explained when we did the tractate of Orla, ve'od shomed le'asrefa. And another reason, even if you're allowed, it's supposed to be burnt. You have a mitzvah to burn it, which means it doesn't have a shiur. Ve'kilu en bo shiur. Just like we explained, by the Asherah and the tree that you was worship, or the city that did idol worship, you need to destroy the entire city. What happened? You are in your house. You separated the etrog for the Kohen, and it is not impure, it is pure. And then you notice that you don't have an etrog for the holiday. So you're going to say, I'm going to go and use it for the mitzvah, and then give it to the Kohen later on. I'm allowed to?
You have to livdot את זה קודם.
No. It stays truma.
It's a Kohen. You can't take it from the Kohen, it's from the Gazul.
I'm not Gazul, I'm not stealing it. Gazul means I'm taking something away from it. I'm just shaking it. I'm going to put it back.
Maybe you have to ask permission from the Kohen.
Oh, if I come... Good question. If I come to shul, and I have your, what do you call it? Your tefillin. You're not here. Am I allowed to put your tefillin on?
Of course.
Why? I didn't ask permission. Because I'm not using it. I'm not stealing it. I'm just using it. The same thing over here. I come, I see tefillin, I see an etrog, I need to do the mitzvah, and put it back. It's not kodashim, it's truma. Truma, it belongs to the Kohen. Yeah, it's kind of kodashim, but truma, it belongs to the Kohen. Let's say it belongs to him. It belongs to the Kohen. Right? But the question is, am I allowed to use it? So let's see. Shel troma tehora, etrog shel troma tehora. It says lo yitol. It says don't take. It says why not take? Well, what's the problem? It's like tefillin. It looks like, right? I should be able to take. So בגמרא מבואר הטעם, the Gemara, it explains the reason, לפי שמעמידים כל יום את הלולב במים. It says because you put the entire day, it says you actually should be allowed to use it. The problem is, I know what you do with your lulav. You know what you do with your lulav? You make sure it's wet. You make sure the lulav is wet? Now it's going to be a problem. The water from the lulav that it's wet is going to fall on what? On the etrog. And then it's going to be mukhshar for tuma. And if I'm tameh, I'm endangering the etrog to become tameh. I mean, just because of that. Because I mean, in the tefillin, there's no problem for me to use. Over here, I might make the truma tameh by putting water on it. And why when I'm steaming there's water? Because like we know, everybody puts water, they do something with it to make it wet. וכשנוטל את האתרוג והלולב כדי לברך עליהם, and they're afraid when you're going to take the etrog and lulav in order to bless on them, נמצא מכשיר את האתרוג לקבל טומאה. You're going to make the etrog, once the water has fallen on him, now he can receive tuma, receive impurity. על ידי שמקרבו ללולב הרטוב, when you bring him close to the lulav that is wet, ואסור לגרום טומאה לתרומה. And you're going to cause this etrog to become tameh. Maybe in your tower, but the next person is going to touch it. That's it. ואם נטל אתרוג של תרומה טהורה, but what happened if you did it? You did it. Did you do the mitzvah?
Maybe you did the mitzvah, but you defiled the etrog.
You didn't defile it, you're pure.
You did.
You endangered
Yeah,
it.
you take the water. It's got water.
So as long as you're pure, you're fine. It's a problem that it might become impure later on. The problem is it might become. So if you did it, so you did it, good. Don't do it next time because you're endangering it. But you did the mitzvah. ואם נטל אתרוג של תרומה טהורה, כשר, כלומר יצא בו ידי חובתו. You did the obligation. Yes, you're endangering the truma. Don't do it next time. But the mitzvah, you did. I can't take it away. And why do you do the mitzvah? As long as somebody is allowed to eat this etrog. And who's allowed to eat this etrog? The Kohen. שהרי יש בו יותר אכילה לכהן, because the Kohen is allowed to eat it. What happened? We also learned Masechet Mai. You remember Masechet Mai? You bought an etrog from an Haaretz. You bought an etrog from somebody who you suspect of not giving meiser. So, של דמאי פירוש שנלקחו מהארץ החשות על מעשר, נקראים דמאי, you took it from somebody who you're not sure tithed it. כלומר, ספק מאושרים, ספק אינם מאושרים. You don't know if it was tithed or not tithed. ואסור לאכלם עד שיהיה אסרם. You didn't tithe them yet. It says, are you allowed to do it? If you did the mitzvah before you tithe them, did you do the mitzvah or you didn't do, or you need to redo the mitzvah? That's the question. ואם האתרוג הוא של דמאי, so if the etrog belongs to דמאי, בית שמאי פוסלים, בית שמאי says, go do the mitzvah again, you didn't do the mitzvah. Tithe it, and then do the mitzvah again. ליטול לשם מצוות ארבע מינים, הואיל ואין בו היתר אכילה. Says, you're not allowed to eat it.
There is a way to tie this etrog?
Yeah, you can just give tithing.
Money.
Or another etrog.
You cut the etrog.
Yeah.
You give a piece, right?
No, you're cutting it off. But let's say you got 100 etrog, you can give one. Or whatever.
Okay.
Theoretically.
Okay.
Yeah. ובית הלל מכשירים. בית הלל says בית שמאי. There's a rule. What's the rule? If somebody can eat it, and we know that Dmai who can eat, and Ani can eat. So just like a Kohen can eat Truma, and Ani can eat Dmai, and therefore it's kosher for me. That's what Beit Hillel is going to say. ובית הלל מכשירים, הואיל וראוי לעניים. It says, look, if somebody in the world can eat it, then it's kosher. כמו ששנינו, מאכילים את העניים את הדמאי. It says, if somebody can eat it, then it's kosher. So it's fair according to Beit Hillel. What happened of second tithe in Yerushalayim? Somebody brought an etrog to Yerushalayim. Why? To be eaten in Yerushalayim. The etrog is supposed to get eaten in Yerushalayim, just like the second tithing, right? You know that now it's not allowed to go out of the city walls, like we learned. It has to stay within Yerushalayim. And you're in Yerushalayim, and you see an etrog over there. It's Sukkot. Somebody brought it in, not for Sukkot. He brought it in for eating. Are you allowed to use it? So you ask yourself, what's the problem? Why shouldn't I be allowed to use it? Let's see. שפירות מעשר שני מצווה לאוכלם בירושלים. The fruits of the second tithe, it's a commandment to eat in Yerushalayim. So he says, לא ייטול, don't take them. Why? We already said why. מהטעם שביארנו באתרוג של תרומת טהורה. Because if you're going to take it, you're going to make it easy. Now the second tithing can become, you can make it impure. Possibility. Why? Because it's going to touch the lulav again, and there's water on the lulav, and although you're pure, you're good, but you don't know if the next person is going to be pure, and you're making it ready to receive impurity. מפני שמכשירו לקבל טומאה, you're making it ready to receive טומאה, to receive impurity, על ידי שמקרבו את הלולב הרטוב, you bring it close to the lulav which is wet. ואף מעשר שני נקרא קודש, and also second tithe, it's still called holiness, ואסור לגרום לו לטומאה, and you're not allowed to cause it to become impure. But the same reason that we said in the truma, אם נטל כשר, you shouldn't do it because there's a possibility for you to make the truma, but if you already did it, and don't worry about it, it's kosher. כלומר, יצא בו ידי חובתו. You did your obligation. אבל חוץ לירושלים, but if it's on the way to Yerushalayim, let's say you're late for Sukkot, and you're walking during Chol HaMoed to Yerushalayim, and you have an etrog that you're going to have Ma'aser Sheni. Yeah, Ma'aser Sheni, and you want to use it out of Yerushalayim for the sake. אבל חוץ לירושלים, הואיל ואסור לאכלו, no one is allowed to eat it outside of Yerushalayim, and right now this etrog is where? Outside of Yerushalayim, it's like it's not there. You cannot use it for the mitzvah.
And you can לפדות את זה.
No, it's a pidyon. Yeah. Can you פודה את זה? Yeah, you can פודה את זה. Yeah, you can פודה מעשר שני. Yeah. Yeah, but the question is, you didn't pada. Can you use the etrog? ואסור לאכלו, he says it, ואסור לאכלו בלא פדיון. And you're not allowed to eat it without redeeming. אף בדיעבד אם נטלו, even if you did it in בדיעבד, לא יצא ידי חובתו, he didn't do his obligation. ויש סוברים, and there are those who hold, שהוא הדין חוץ לירושלים אם נטל יצא. Some says no, if you take it out of ירושלים, he did do his obligation. ולא נקטע משנה ירושלים, אלא להשמיענו שאפילו בירושלים לא יתראה אתרוג של מעשר השם לכתחילה. In other words, this is the question. The fact that I'm out of Yerushalayim, they say, that doesn't mean that this etrog cannot be eaten. The etrog is only missing location. And once the etrog comes into Yerushalayim, since you're allowed to eat it, I'm going to consider it, even now it's out of Yerushalayim, as not. In other words, does the location of the etrog puzzle it, or the location of the etrog doesn't puzzle it?